major shifts can happen much faster than you think. So there are things that take time, absolutely, to become a world-renowned speaker, to be an insanely good storyteller. These things don't happen in an instant. But something that has the potential to change nearly instantaneously, or when you can watch the transformation happening in front of you, is our minds and the mindset and the way that not only we see the world, but the way that we begin to see ourselves. And this weekend, I've been celebrating a beautiful friend's birthday. And as a result, I've met some of her incredible friends. And I wanted to share with you one experience that, even for me, it was so cool to see how this transformation happened. So a couple of mornings ago, I was having breakfast and I sat down next to this lovely lady. And we started talking and she was asking what I do. And I said, well, I work with storytelling. She said, oh, I'm not a storyteller. And I just put in the word, yet. Oh, okay, fine. Last night at dinner, we sat next to each other and we continued our conversation. And at some point in time, we were diving in and digging and playing around with some of the things that she's passionate about and some of the ways that she explores. And she sits back and she gets this little grin on her face and she goes, you know, I've got 3 or 4 incredible stories that I like to tell to myself that are really meaningful. And I said, okay, stop, pause, hold on. So you remember yesterday morning, you made the comment, I'm not a storyteller. And now you're leaning back and talking about 3 or 4 fabulous stories that you have, that you love to tell, that you find really meaningful. She starts giggling and she was like, all right, so yeah, kind of funny. By the end of the night, she makes this comment. You know, I have lived so much life in the time that I've been alive that, like, right now I could stop living and have stories to fill up a whole lifetime. And I just sat there and I stared at her and I was like, can we just play back what you just said? And she starts belly laughing and we laughed together. But I said, do you realize that 24 hours ago we started with, I am not a storyteller. And by the time that we got done with dinner, she had recognized, because her identity around I'm not a storyteller had shifted to the point where she started to see the richness that happens in everyday life, all of the different experiences that she's had of moving to different countries and experience hardships and all of these things, that it's very easy for us to get caught up in the idea that storytelling is something grand and I need to have these epic adventures to be able to bring value and meaning to other people's lives. But it is the momentary magic that happens that actually provides the most richness, because that's what the rest of us can identify with. I can identify with someone going out and, you know, winning a war for their country. It's amazing, and that story might also move me. But I also, for me, find the most resonance when it comes to those moments that I myself can identify with. A struggle at work, a difficulty with a partner, whatever it might be, when somebody can share their experience and it helps me connect the dots of meaning in my own experiences. Because we can't live life for anyone else, right? But through our stories, we can help others connect the dots of their experience so that perhaps they don't have to go through as much struggle and pain and frustration and also sometimes joy and excitement as we have through ours. This is why we share stories. So, yes, some things take time, but don't forget that especially when it comes to our own minds, magic can happen like that.